Okay, guys, so welcome to the maternity diary. If you know me, I take mental health so seriously, and so I end up like doing so many walks. And one of my favorite things to do is to walk in places that are like beautiful. Because like sometimes the things that you see as you take a walk, not just anywhere, can really help you with your mental state, like researching and all of that. So today I'm going to take you to one of my most favorite places to take walks. And yeah, so come along with me and we are live. Yeah, so this is one of the places that I love to walk. I'm a huge water freak, so I live very close to a river, and I end up taking multiple walks to these places. So I'm going to take you to like a few of the, like they have a few artifacts here, and so I don't know what they mean actually, but then I'm going to take you to a few of them for us to explore together. Please make some cause there for you, yeah, for you. Okay, so you see the stone? Like, it's really interesting to me. It reminds me of like some of the cartoons and ancient cartoons that I watch. Like, I don't know if you can see clearly, but then it has a lot of writings on it. It's just amazing. Look at that. It's right here. It's your bed city. I pray this day begins a journey. Make this day bring the least of your enemies. Would it be better if we say the prayer 1 or 2 times a day? You see like the human there. It's like someone is running away. I don't know what story this tells. But then you can see like humans. I guess this represents the sun or the moon or something like that. And this like water, river. Yeah, for you. Jesus is knocking, please make some cause there for you. Yeah, for you. Everything is gonna be better because it's right here. Right here. Cause it's right here, right here. Cause it's right here, right here. Cause it's right here, right here. Because it's right here, right here. Don't worry about your troubles. Cause it's right here, right. This actually looks like a clock or something, like an ancient clock. So I'm going to talk about some funny things that have happened to me. Some of the funniest experiences that I've had. Yeah, so I remember when I was pregnant with my first boy, there was a day like I used to have like this massive cramps, and it actually felt like contractions, and this was like in my second trimester. So I honestly like thought like maybe I was in labor or something. So one day I couldn't stand the pain anymore, and then I was like, no, we need to go to the hospital because this has gotten overboard. Like, I don't know what pain this is, but this is ridiculously painful. So we end up at the hospital. We stayed in the hospital for like 4 hours before it was my turn to see the doctor. And guess what? The doctor comes in and then he just laughs. And then I'm like, why is this doctor laughing? Like, what's so funny? So I actually thought he was going to say, oh, well, you know, you're getting twins and
I beg your pardon?
That's why like you're having pains like this. And then he just laughs, and then he goes on to say, well, you're actually having constipation. So that's why, and this is because like of the folic acid that I take like during pregnancy. You know, we have to take folic acid during pregnancy. So he was like, because of the folic acid during pregnancy, a lot of women end up like having constipation. So you have to make a conscious effort, like take prune juice and stuff like that. In fact, the pain was unbearable. Like there was a day I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit. Like the pain was so much. Like I thought something was going to happen to me, and all this for constipation. And so he recommends an edema for me to take. And you know what edema is? It's bentua. So he recommends that for me to take. And so I had to bend down in the bathroom. Like we get home in the night, and then I had to bend down in the bathroom, and then my husband had to like you know, push it in for me so that I can like feel free. So that was one of the funniest experiences that I've had. To see how people come for jogs here, I mainly come here to take walks. Okay, so as a young girl, I was only, well, I hope my dad doesn't hear this, but then I was only about 14 when I had my first boyfriend. What? And so, like, I used to chat with this boy, and at that time, I think it was in the early 2000s, maybe 2001. By then, there wasn't a lot of people didn't have mobile phones that much. So my dad had bought me this Nokia 3310 or 3310, I think, and he gave it to me just so that he can still be in touch with me and my siblings when I'm in school and then when I get back. So he gives me this phone at 13, and then I have this boyfriend at 14. And so my boyfriend will call, and then we will talk for hours. Like at least we'll talk for 1 hour. Like honestly, like till date, I still ask myself, what at all would we use a whole hour to talk about? Honestly. So, what at all we use a whole hour to talk about? It's so weird, isn't it? So anyway, so we spoke, like we used to talk for really, really long hours. And then one day, like my boyfriend, like usually he would call me, okay? I wouldn't be the one to call. So he calls me with his, the landline, the house phone. And he'll call me with the house phone, and we'll talk for hours. So one day he calls me, and then he's like, hello Teresa. So I thought it was like the usual normal call that we have. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm about to start chatting, and then he says, a number is going, like, if you get a call from my house, please do not pick up. And then I'm like, okay, all right, but why shouldn't I pick up? He says, I said just don't pick up, I'll tell you later. And honestly, like, you can tell me just don't pick up, and then you can't tell me just don't pick up, okay, and then you leave it as that. Because I just ask him, why shouldn't I pick up? And then he says, I said just do not pick up. So I go on and I said, okay. And then lo and behold, his house phone calls me, and instead of me to be the good girlfriend at that time, instead of me to be a good girlfriend, to be obedient, I did not. I picked up the call because I really wanted to know what is going on. Like, why shouldn't I pick up a call from your house? So he goes on, like, I pick up the call, and then there's this deep voice. It's like, hello? And I say, yes, hello. And he says, who is this? And I'm like, my name is Teresa. And then he goes on and say, do you know any of my children. And I'm like, I honestly do not know whom you're talking about. Like, because at that point I realized, wait, I'm in trouble. I probably shouldn't have picked up the call. So so he goes on, and then he's like, well, I was going through, the monthly bill came up, and then I was going through I realized like we were owing so much money, because then you get the bill at the end of the month, like after at the end of each month. So it will give you like the details of every call you made, how many minutes. And he said, well, I went through and then I saw that there was this number that was being called every single day, and the calls lasted for like an average of 1.5 hours, 2 hours. And so I wanted to know who this person is and like who this person is. That's why I called. So I said, oh, okay, please. And he was like, so who has been calling you from my house? And I didn't know what to say. I was just quiet, because at the point I was like, wait, I'm in big trouble. I probably shouldn't have picked up. And then he goes on and says, do you know my son? He mentioned his name. I'm not going to say his name. So he mentions his name, and I say, yes. And he said, who is he to you? And then I was like, okay, he's my friend. And then everyone is like, okay, he's your friend. Come and see me on Friday after school. And I said, okay, because the thing is, he lived very close to my school. There were bungalows close to my school, so it's just like 2 minutes walk. So I told him, okay, I'm going to see him. And then later on, my boyfriend at the time calls me and he's like, did I not tell you not to pick up any call from my house? And I was like, why? He says, I told you not to pick up any call, but you're so stubborn, you picked up the call. And so what happened when my dad called you? And then I told him, well, your dad says I should come see him on Friday. And he says, I hope you're not going. I said, okay. But then I feel like it would be disrespectful for me not to go, because I already agreed to go in. Okay? So I cannot say now that I am not going. Okay, wait, let's look at this here. Isn't this so nice? Wow, I love this place. It's like a shell.
I know you've got somewhere to go, but let me draw your attention. I know you don't know what to do.
Yeah, so to continue my story, so he's like, make sure you don't go, okay? And I said, okay. But then, like, I mean, it'll be so disrespectful for me not to go when I told the father I was going to go. So the Friday came and I ended up at this man's house. And I go there, I was waiting, and then my boyfriend's cousin comes around and he's like, what are you doing here? So she pulls me to the side. She's like, what are you doing here? And I told her, well, your uncle said I should come see him. And she was like, and you came? Are you serious? You, this girl, are you serious? This girl is like older, much older. So she's like, are you serious? Look, I think you are such a child. You do not know what this means. You better pack your bags and go home before you get in trouble. And so she takes me, she's like, go home and don't come here again. The way my boyfriend at the time was really upset with me, he was so upset. I mean, and those times, like when we talk about boyfriend, it was nothing. It was just like like I said, we just talk on the phone for several hours, and that's it. Like nothing like super special. There's really like nothing super special. So yeah. That's another funny experience that I had growing up.
Yeah, for you. Jesus is knocking, please make some.
Okay, that also reminds me of look, this place, it's like a bush. I love walking through there, but the last time I walked there, the birds, like there's so many birds over there. The birds literally were poking the middle of my head, like my scalp. I don't know why, like it was so scary. It was super scary. And so I don't like to pass through that place. Also, I would have, for you to see how beautiful that place is. I love, it's like one of my best places here. Okay, Okay, so what we are going to do is to climb up. Should we climb up? I want to, but I'm so scared of the birds. Like, it's like a bird sanctuary or something. I'm super scared.
Yeah.
Look at
I
this.
know you've got somewhere to go, but let me draw your attention. I know you don't know what to do, but I just got one question. What have you wanted to be all this while? You've been searching, set you free. See your smile, I see you learning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I told you this place is just a beauty. Very, very nice.
It's gonna be better soon, God's there for you, yeah, for you. Jesus is knocking, please make some. God's there for you, yeah, for you. Everything's gonna be better because He's right.
Look, I'm a child at heart. Yeah, I am. Okay, so just before I came to the school that I had, like, that's funny story about my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. I was going to the school that I was going to was very far from my house, because we went there. I started that school when I was in, I think, nursery 1, so I was 3 by then, or 4. So I was in that school, and I had been in that school till class 6, so that would give me 10 years or 9 years of being in the school. And I'd been on scholarship like the entire time. I was like one of the best students, so I was on full scholarship the whole time. And so, like, I mean, full scholarship, who doesn't want a full scholarship? You get what I mean? Like, it was a completely full scholarship. So here's what happens. So my dad realized that, like, because of that, we always had to leave home at least we had to leave home at 5:30 or the latest at 6. If we ever left even a minute after 6, we're going to have like be in horrible traffic, and that will mean that we'll get to school instead of 7. We get to school at 8:30, and mind you, school starts at 7. So one day my dad, like on a Monday, we were about to go, and we thought, well, I mean, we're going to be late. And my dad is like, oh, take it, you don't have to rush, just take your time. And we're like, this guy, we're going to be late, and then we'll be in trouble in school. So that's what we're telling ourselves. And then around 7 p.m, my dad says, okay, let's go. 7 a.m, sorry, 7:30 or so. So now we go, and then my dad is like, okay, he's passing somewhere first. And you can imagine, like, we are like, seriously, we're already so late, and all you can think about is that you're passing somewhere else. But we didn't want to say anything. We're very young anyway, so we're just quiet about it, but we knew we weren't happy about it. So here's what happens. So my dad ends up in a school somewhere, and this is the school that I was talking about. So we end up in the school somewhere, and we are just in the car. So my dad goes about, like, just he goes inside, goes to talk to somebody for a while, and I mean, we are just there. We are cool because we're like, oh, just hurry up and let's go to school. How are we going to explain to our teachers that we are late because our dad went to pass somewhere? Or, like, how exactly are we going to explain it? You get what I mean? So so here's what we're just sitting in the car. Then my dad comes out and he says, okay guys, get out, this is your new school. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, just like that, my dad says, okay, this is your new school. Yes, SMH. My dad might be watching this. I was so annoyed. I was like, how could my dad do this to us? At least he could have told us so we say bye-bye to our friends, but he did not say a word. So imagine, like, we are just in our new school, just like that, new friends. We didn't say bye-bye to anybody, and I don't think this was funny at all. Like, I was really upset about it. I was really upset about it. Yeah, so that was, you can see I'm running out of breath. The walk is like incredibly tiring because it's a long walk. It's a very long walk. It's incredibly tiring. This is my favorite place out of the entire place. Like, it makes you have a feel of Hawaii, thereabout. Like, I really love this particular side of the entire park. So are there any stories that you have? Are there any stories that you have about your own? You can share with me in the comment section. Share your funny stories, the most hilarious moments that you've had when growing up. Just share with me, let me know.
What to do, but I just got one question. What have you wanted to be all this while? You've been searching, set you free. See your smile.
And what's your favorite thing to do? Like me, I like to take walks at places like this. What do you like to do? Let me know.
For you, everything's gonna be better soon. God's there for you.
And after a long walk, like, you just come sit here and just look at the water.
Right here, don't worry about your troubles. It's right here, right here. Don't be sorrow, there is double coming your way. Your way. Everything's gonna be better because it's right here. It's your bed to see. I pray this day begins a journey. Make this day bring the least of your enemies. Would it be better if...
So people cycle here a lot. Like, people come here to cycle a lot. Some people just sit here and yeah, sit here like me in the chair here.
For you, Jesus is knocking, please make some. God's there for you, here for you. Everything's gonna be there.
Yeah, so tell me the things you like to do for your mental health, for fun. Like, speak with me, let me know. Sometimes like when it's very windy here, you see seagulls like flying and the wind is like pushing them back. So they're trying to go and then like it's keeping them, it's pulling them back. It's just a beautiful sight to see. And people actually come here to fish. A lot of people come here to fish. And on a sunny day like this, like, it's just best you take some sunscreen because I'm telling you, it can be hot, like super hot. Hi. Good. How are you? I know, right? Okay, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, I know you've got somewhere to go, but let me draw your attention. I know you don't know what to do.
Yeah, so when I come here, especially at that particular section, I end up like meeting people because you're sitting and people are sitting and they're like, hi. That's the bathroom. So when you come here, you can see there's a small bathroom here. And then these people are coming to down there. Can you see that? Yeah.
Everything's gonna be better soon.
For me, I'll never come to a place like this and go so close to the water, you know. I will never do that. It's super close to the water. Especially like when you come here alone. Seriously, the last thing is to dare the gods. That's my best description for that. So you see how this place is? Yeah.
Everything's gonna be better because it's right here. It's your bed to see. I pray this day begins a journey. Make this day bring the least of your enemies. Would it be better if we say the prayer 1 or 2 times a day? Making a bigger way. Trust God and you do what
at this age, and I guess I still get hit on. You know, the guy behind me who just passed by, he wanted to ask for my number, and I'm like, no. So you see, he keeps turning around, and I'm married, I'm a mama of two. Okay, so you're wondering, if you're wondering what time do I actually get to do something like this, I usually get to do something like this during my lunch breaks. I have a 1 hour lunch break, so I usually will take out 1 whole hour to take a walk and then go back, because in the morning you're in a rush, in the evening you are also in a rush, and you barely have time to exercise or do anything. So during my lunch times are the best time, but for the past few weeks I've not really been consistent with it, because I'm doing a lot of I'll update you on that later. That'll be on another vlog. You get to know what I've been doing this past few weekends. Okay,
yeah, I know you've got somewhere to go. But let me draw your attention. I
have to go back to work.
But I just got one question. What have you wanted to be all this while? You've been searching.
Yeah, so like I told you, the guy came to talk to me and was like, oh, you look nice and you seem to be having a lot of fun here.
God's there for you, yeah, for you. Everything's gonna be better soon. God's there for you, yeah, for you.
Yeah, so that's what I love to do. So many times I love to walk here and then just enjoy nature, like anywhere that has some bit of nature, whether water, especially the water. Like, I don't know what I'll do without water, and the greens and then the colors around, just it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, no matter how stressed I am. Like, it so helps. See the bikers, I don't own a bicycle yet, but who knows, maybe in the next year, or one of you can sponsor me my bicycle, to buy a bicycle and take a ride on a bicycle.
Just God, you do what you say.
So if you were wondering where this place is, it's in Lachine. It's called the Rene Levesque Park. It's in Lachine, and like the guy was telling me, this place has been here for over 20 years, so he's actually not even feeling so impressed, but then I am, because I lived here in this particular area for 4 years and I never heard of this place. I never saw this place. I never knew of it. No one ever mentioned it to me till only till last year, I think spring. That's when I got to hear of this place. So you can be like, just try to take time to explore like all the places around you, especially the green spaces, the blue spaces. Just try, because you never know what you discover. And ever since I discovered this place, my entire maternity journey, like I would come here every single day with my son with the stroller and walk very briskly, like just to keep fit, you know, because especially in COVID, it can be really stressful, it can be really tiring, and yeah, something like this just helps so much. And in a park like this, you don't need to wear a mask. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I know you've got somewhere to go, but let me draw your attention.
Yeah.
I know you don't know what to do.
You like this, right?
But
Me
I just
too.
got one question. What have you wanted to be all this while? You've been searching.
I mean, this place is nice enough,
See your smile,
but
I
then
see you
there's so many spiders.
Because I know that God's there for you, yeah, for you. Jesus is knocking, please make some.
There's
God's
so many
there for
cobwebs.
you, yeah, for you. Everything's gonna be better soon. God's there for you, yeah, for you. Jesus is knocking, please make some. God's there for you, yeah, for
There's
you.
no spider on
Everything's
me.
gonna be better because He's right here. Right here. No, don't worry about your troubles. He's right here, right here. Don't be sorrow there is double coming your way, your way.
Are there any cobwebs on me? I hope not.
It's your bed, city. I pray this day begins a journey. Make this day bring the least of your enemies. Would it be better if we say the prayer?
You know what I'd love? I'd love to have what are they called? What's it called? Oh, a drone. You know, to see how this place looks in the sky, from the sky. Because especially like that corner, the part that I went to before, like the shape is so different, and I feel like it will look so more beautiful, so much more beautiful from the top. You get what I mean? This one, I don't know if it's a fish or dinosaur head, but you can see the eyes and then the nose and then some part of the mouth. Yeah. But I really wish I had a drone, like to look at some of the, like a place like this is just, it's like, it's a bit of an island, like, well, is it? Yeah, almost an island, you saw. Yeah, just with one open end. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this walk with me. I'm taking you to one more of my, it's like a foot. What it did was to drop, they put in stones, like big stones, rocks in the foot, and it lines up across. I will show you in a bit, like we're almost there. You see how therapeutic, like walking in a place like this is. The colors alone. Oh my god, I told you I'm scared of birds because one of them poked my head some time ago.
I know you don't know what to do, but I just got one question. What have you wanted to be all this while you've been searching?
Yeah, so we are very close to the foot area, and you will see how the place is. So yeah, that's the first foot. You see, so it's like a series of foot. Is it foot? No, a series of feet. Don't mind me, yeah. So you see how it is? Yeah.
Coming your way, your way. Everything's gonna.
And this is usually like a lover's corner, so if you have your lover, you can come here and be all cozy. I mean, I've done this with my son many times. Like, I'll just come, bring a picnic blanket, and then we lie down in the grass right by the water, and yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. So I do hope you enjoyed walking with me and on this therapeutic walk. If it was therapeutic enough for you, please let me know in the comment section. If there are any other kind of places that you think I should visit, let me know. I'll be glad to take a walk and show the world what a great God we have, who creates things so beautifully. It's just amazing. The work of his hands are amazing. They are incredible. They are beautiful. And sometimes when I look at creation, I can only imagine how heaven will look like. Yeah, I can only imagine. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, don't forget to stay happy, stay healthy, stay beautiful, and never ever forget that God loves you. See you next time. Bye.
I'ma live my life like it's my last day. Live